Arsenic is a dangerous substance, often overlooked in our daily lives. It can be found in our environment, lurking in places we might not expect. Arsenic is a natural element, but it can also be released by human activities such as mining and industrial processes. It can contaminate our water, food and air, making its way into our homes and communities. Exposure to arsenic can have serious health effects, especially for children who are more susceptible to its toxic effects. Children are more vulnerable to the toxic effects of arsenic because their bodies are still developing and growing. This is because their bodies are still developing, and they are in a critical stage of growth and development. They also tend to absorb more arsenic than adults due to their higher intake of food and water relative to their body weight. This makes it crucial for us to understand the risks and take steps to protect children from this hidden danger. Arsenic can be colorless and odorless, making it difficult to detect without proper testing and awareness. It is important to be aware of the sources of arsenic and the ways to minimize exposure, such as using clean water sources and avoiding contaminated areas. By taking necessary precautions, we can create a safer environment for children, ensuring they grow up healthy and strong. Understanding the dangers of arsenic is the first step towards protecting our children and ensuring their future well-being. By being informed and proactive, we can make choices that safeguard their health and well-being, creating a brighter future for the next generation. Arsenic is found in both natural and human-made sources. It is a naturally occurring element that can be found in the Earth's crust. It is present in rocks and soil, and it can leach into groundwater, especially in areas with high natural deposits. Volcanic eruptions and forest fires can also release arsenic into the environment, spreading it over large areas through ash and smoke. Human activities, such as mining and industrial processes, contribute significantly to arsenic contamination. These activities can release arsenic into the air, water, and soil. The use of arsenic-containing pesticides and wood preservatives also poses a risk. These chemicals can seep into the ground and contaminate crops and groundwater. Improper disposal of industrial waste can contaminate soil and water sources, leading to long-term environmental and health issues. Certain foods like rice and apple juice may contain arsenic. This is because these plants can absorb arsenic from the soil and water they grow in. This is due to arsenic naturally present in soil or water used for irrigation, which can be taken up by crops. Additionally, seafood can accumulate arsenic from contaminated water, especially in areas near industrial discharges or natural arsenic deposits. It is important to be mindful of these sources. Awareness and education can help reduce exposure risks. We should take steps to minimize exposure, especially for children who are more vulnerable to the harmful effects of arsenic. Children can be exposed to arsenic in various ways, often without anyone realizing the potential dangers lurking in their everyday environments. Drinking contaminated water is a major source of exposure, especially in areas with high arsenic levels in groundwater. This is particularly concerning in regions where water purification systems are inadequate or non-existent. Consuming food, such as rice, fruits, and vegetables grown in contaminated soil, can introduce arsenic into their bodies. These foods can absorb arsenic from the soil and water, making them a hidden source of exposure. Children's tendency to put their hands and objects into their mouths increases the risk of ingesting arsenic-laden dust or soil. This behavior is natural for young children, but can be dangerous in contaminated environments. Exposure can also occur through inhalation of contaminated air, particularly in areas near industrial sites or areas with high arsenic content in the soil. Airborne particles can carry arsenic, making it easy for children to breathe it in. Children living near such areas are at a higher risk. The proximity to industrial activities increases their chances of encountering arsenic in their daily lives. It is crucial to identify potential sources of arsenic exposure in children's environments. Regular testing of soil and water, along with vigilant monitoring of air quality, can help in early detection. This will help us take necessary measures to protect them. Ensuring safe play areas, clean drinking water, and uncontaminated food sources are essential steps in safeguarding children's health. Acute arsenic poisoning occurs when a large amount of arsenic is ingested or inhaled in a short period. This is a medical emergency that requires immediate attention. Symptoms of acute arsenic poisoning can appear quickly. They may include vomiting, abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, dehydration, and shock. In severe cases, it can lead to seizures, coma, and even death. If you suspect arsenic poisoning, seek medical help immediately. Early detection and treatment are crucial for a positive outcome. Prevention is always better than cure. We must be vigilant in keeping arsenic-containing substances out of reach of children. Chronic arsenic exposure occurs with repeated exposure to low levels of arsenic over a long period. This type of exposure may not cause immediate symptoms, but it can lead to serious health problems over time. Children are particularly vulnerable to the long-term effects of chronic arsenic exposure. Their developing organs and systems are more susceptible to damage. The effects of chronic exposure can manifest in various ways. These include skin problems, developmental delays, cardiovascular diseases, and an increased risk of certain cancers. Early detection and intervention are essential to mitigate the harmful effects of chronic arsenic exposure. Regular medical checkups and monitoring can help identify and address any potential issues. Exposure to arsenic can have detrimental effects on children's developing brains. Studies have shown that even low levels of arsenic exposure can impair cognitive function, affecting their ability to learn and process information. Children exposed to arsenic may experience difficulties with memory, attention, and problem-solving skills. They may have trouble concentrating in school and may lag behind their peers developmentally. These cognitive impairments can have long-term consequences, impacting their academic performance and future opportunities. It is crucial to protect children from arsenic exposure to safeguard their cognitive development. Providing a stimulating and supportive environment can help mitigate the negative effects of arsenic exposure. Early intervention programs can also assist children in reaching their full potential. Arsenic exposure can stunt children's growth and development. It can interfere with their physical growth, leading to shorter stature and delayed puberty. Children exposed to arsenic may experience weakened immune systems, making them more susceptible to infections and illnesses. They may also be at an increased risk of developing chronic diseases later in life. The effects of arsenic on growth and development can be irreversible. It is essential to minimize exposure during these critical periods to ensure children's healthy growth and well-being. Adequate nutrition, access to healthcare, and a clean environment can help mitigate the adverse effects of arsenic exposure. Arsenic exposure can manifest on the skin, causing various dermatological problems. Darkening of the skin or pigmentation and thickening of the skin, known as keratosis, are common symptoms. Long-term exposure to arsenic can also lead to skin cancer. Children with prolonged exposure are at a higher risk of developing this serious condition. Inhalation of arsenic-contaminated air can irritate the lungs and respiratory tract. This can cause breathing difficulties, coughing, and wheezing. Protecting children's skin from arsenic contamination is crucial. This includes using clean water for bathing and washing hands frequently. Exposure to arsenic is strongly linked to an increased risk of developing certain types of cancer. Children are particularly vulnerable to these carcinogenic effects. The cancers most commonly associated with arsenic exposure include lung cancer, skin cancer, bladder cancer, and kidney cancer. The risk of developing these cancers increases with the duration and level of arsenic exposure. It is essential to limit children's exposure to arsenic to reduce their lifetime risk of developing these life-threatening diseases. Regular medical checkups and cancer screenings are important for early detection and treatment. Preventing arsenic exposure is vital for safeguarding children's health. Testing water sources for arsenic and using appropriate filtration systems are essential steps. Choosing food and beverages carefully is also important. Opting for low arsenic rice varieties, encouraging a diverse diet, and being mindful of fruit juice consumption can help reduce exposure. Educating children about the dangers of arsenic and teaching them good hygiene practices such as hand washing can empower them to make safe choices. Advocating for stricter regulations on industrial emissions and promoting responsible waste management practices can contribute to a safer environment for all. Arsenic poses a significant threat to children's health and well-being. Understanding the sources of exposure, recognizing the symptoms of poisoning, and taking preventive measures are crucial for protecting them. By raising awareness, promoting research, and implementing effective policies, we can strive to create a future where children are free from the harmful effects of arsenic. Let us work together to ensure that all children have the opportunity to grow and thrive in a safe and healthy environment. Every child deserves a future free from the shadow of arsenic poisoning.